my story is a bit personal. It was newly into marriage with a few kids, and I was working a lot, and I was gone a lot. And when I got home, my story, my standard of how things should be was that my wife would make dinner. Well, the reality is making dinner wasn't at the top of her list. It wasn't at the top of her mind. She had a lot of other things that she was doing, taking care of 2 sets of young twins. But my story was that if my wife truly loved me, then she would have dinner ready for me when I got home. Right or wrong, that was my story. I didn't believe that I had the ability to change my story. I felt like that's just how it was. When I learned of these exciting ideas, this sensitive story was what came to mind for me. And I realized, wow, this isn't necessarily how it is. It's how I think that it is. What if I could go back? And what if I could change my story? What if I could unlink the actions or inactions of someone else and link them instead to me and my actions and behavior? So I went on this journey and I wrote down what my current story was, and I was a bit surprised to actually realize that my standard was that my wife would have dinner ready most days when I got home. Well, I wanted to change that. So I went about writing up what my new standard, what my new story could be, what I wanted it to be. So my new story was, making dinner is a privilege, and one of the ways that I can connect with those that I love most. I recited this again and again, going into my unconscious mind and programming my unconscious mind. Next, and most important, I needed a supporting ritual, which would be if somebody already believed this story, if this already was someone's standard, what kind of actions and behavior would they do? How would they live their life if they truly believed that? And the supporting ritual that I decided to implement was to make dinner for my family with a smile on my face, have it to be my responsibility for a solid month. So that's what I did. I got home with no expectation that dinner would be ready. Sometimes it was, most of the time it wasn't. But when it wasn't, it was my responsibility. So I started making dinner. I invited my kids to come join me. I invited my wife to come join me. My undertones, I didn't realize at the time, but my wife, sweet wife, could feel these undertones. And when I thought that I was pitching in and helping her do her job, now I realize this is not necessarily her job. When I made it my job, it became something that was sweet. Now my whole perspective changed. And as this new story was being cemented into my unconscious mind, it actually became fun. My story, my standard changed, and it completely changed my experience. Then, after this exercise, the supporting ritual of 30 days came to an end. I was different. My relationship with my spouse is different. My relationship with dinner was different. All of this changed from one, deciding to create a different story, recognizing and identifying what my current story was, deciding to change it, and then using a supporting ritual of something that someone would do if they already believed that new story, implementing it into my life so that there was that reprogramming that took place, and forever my story has been changed.